Hi, everybody. Welcome to History Respawned. This is your host, Bob Whitaker, and I'm just playing through a bit of the early hours of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And I'm kind of using these early sessions as a way to prep for an interview for a regular episode of History Respawned. But I just kind of want to go through and talk a little bit about some of the mechanics for this new Assassin's Creed game. Which I'm playing a review copy on PC. And this is running on my desktop computer. It is what I would describe kind of a mid-level PC 1080 card running off of an SSD. And, it's kind of set middle presets for a lot of the graphics, but still looks pretty impressive. Again, the draw distance isn't so great, but a lot of the textures are there, and I think look pretty good, honestly. And the whole game itself has a good look. So this is my player character, Ivor, and I had the computer. You get a choice at the beginning of whether or not you want to play as a male or female protagonist, and I had the computer decide for me, so I ended up with a female protagonist. But from what I know, you can change the gender at any point during the game, so kind of a interesting touch and something that I think fits in well with some other RPGs, more modern RPGs in the last 10 years or so. And this picks up just after Ivor has made the journey to England. So the kind of early tutorial section of the game focuses on events in Norway and what happens with the kind of Viking raiders, political turmoil at home. I'll try not to spoil any of that, but essentially they've left Norway. They set up this kind of rough settlement here in eastern Britain, in Mercia, and we've got a already kind of pre-established Viking settlements that we've moved into here. And the year for this game is late 9th century, so 873 CE, so right at the heart of the kind of raiding era for the Vikings. So I don't know a lot about this era of history, which is one of the reasons why I'm so interested in doing an episode on this game. And my background, I've got a PhD in British history, but it's modern British history. So everything from the 18th century going forward. And, I would say that I'm kind of roughly familiar with what occurred during this time period, but not enough to call myself an expert and not enough to kind of add anything more than what you might get from, say, an encyclopedia article, But I do think there's some interesting elements to the mechanics of this game, which I'll try to go through as I play one of these missions. So, one of these... let's see. Oh, hey, there's a dog. It's the first time I've seen a dog in the game. Let's see how this petting mechanic works. Aw, adorable. I've heard there's cats in this game, too. I haven't seen any of those, unfortunately, but... there we go. Awesome. Jump up here. So, I'm in the midst of trying to set up this camp, this new settlement, and I'll actually show you the map here so you can get a sense of the surroundings. So here we are in eastern England, and we've got these different kingdoms here: Northumbria, Mercia, East Anglia, and Wessex. And in all of these, again, just come in from Norway, so fresh off the boat, as you would say. And we've got this settlement set up here, which is right in the river network, close to the North Sea, and there's plenty of opportunities here to go raiding into either cities or go into monasteries as well. This is something that I did just recently into where is it? Oh, it's this monastery here. So again, kind of adding that historical detail from this time period, of raiding monasteries, attacking churches. And I think it's a little bit interesting, having looked at the map a little bit. There seems to be a lot of these raiding opportunities, and using the raiding supplies to build up your settlement. And one of the things I would say is that, as far as the material that you usually see in an Assassin's Creed game, it's not often the case that you get much mention of religion. In the past few games with Odyssey and Origins, there's been quite a reference to mythology, but not necessarily religion. And what I think is interesting here is they've gone out of their way so far to play up this divide between the Vikings and the English and the Saxons, in the sense that you've got the Vikings coming in, their pagan religion, going up against these Christians in England. And so, and kind of already kind of playing up this idea of how these two sides were going at it in terms of territory and resources, but then also going at it in terms of religion to a certain extent. So I think it's an interesting angle, and I'm really interested to see how that develops going further into the game. So let's get back out of here and go into the Longhouse here and see about this quest.
There you are. You wanted to see me. As Sigurd has so ordered, it falls to us to expand our presence in England.
He wants to forge alliances, ironclad, with every Norse, Dane, and Saxon here.
Right. We are the outsiders here. Making friends will help.
Where do we start?
My scouts come and go daily with interesting news and tidings, and I'm beginning to get my bearings in this fractured land. As I learn more, I can give you insight into each territory before you commit to a journey there.
Of course.
Once you have gained an ally in a territory, return home and speak to me. We'll decide your next move then.
I understand. So where do we start?
You have two options just now. Join Sigurd in Leicestershire to the north and meet with the sons of Ragnar Lothbrok, or head south to Grantebridgeshire to meet an army of Danes led by one Guthrum Jarl and his second, Soma. I should add, our young friend Hytham has been conferring with his own contacts in the cities. His research could be useful in winning us alliances throughout the cities of England. Speak with him and see what he needs.
Interesting. Okay. So we've got a couple of opportunities here to try to build up support for our settlement in England.
I want to see the alliance map.
So this is the first time seeing this. Pledge to a territory to confirm your interest in alliance. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Eligible. Suggested power level. Okay, so just like in Odyssey and Origins, they have different power levels for the player character. So it's kind of like your RPG level. And so this is saying suggested power level 20, and I would want to say that I'm probably somewhere in the teens. I don't know. So let's just go with this one. I'm more curious about what this territory looks like.
Leicestershire. I should like to join Sigurd soon.
He traveled to a town called Repton to meet Ubba and Ivar Ragnarsson. As I hear it, they are on the verge of exiling the current king of Mercia, with the hope of installing a king of their own.
A bold endeavor. I should be there to help however I can.
I think you should.
Nice.
I won't keep them waiting.
Good. I will send word to Sigurd and the Ragnarssons, pledging your assistance. If I were you, I would go by ship. Repton is quite a distance north on the River Trent.
All right. And yeah, I apologize. I'm playing on a widescreen monitor, and so it's going to zoom in every time there's a cutscene. So let me take a look quickly at my power level. Oh, I'm power level 19, so that's not too bad. So this is what the skill tree looks like, and again, this should be a kind of a familiar idea now if you played recent Assassin's Creed titles. Definitely this came in with Origins and then built up in Odyssey. And you can see it's got this kind of Norse constellation look to it, which is very, very reminiscent of Skyrim from Bethesda. And so this has your kind of character starting point, and then you can go into all these different branches of the constellations and then get to what are called I think they're called action skills, I want to say, but just kind of the skills that you can do and moves you can do in addition to combat. And then the kind of smaller dots are just general bonuses, health and range damage and that kind of thing. And then here's the inventory. And one of the things that's nice about this game is that it seems like it's kind of cleared up a bit of the inventory mess from Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And I know certainly by the time I was done playing Odyssey, I felt like I had 7,000 pieces of armor and 7,000 weapons, just a ridiculous amount of stuff. And I've been playing for about 5 hours now, and I feel like it's much more manageable in terms of what kind of stuff you pick up. So that's been a great benefit. And then just like previous Assassin's Creed titles, we have got codex entries here. But kind of just general entries right now. I don't think there's really anything of incredible interest, not anything that's really long. And what's interesting is we've got some members of the Assassin's Guild from far away. They appear to be from the Middle East, who are helping the Vikings along in their journey to England. So kind of a interesting nod there to actual history with contact between Vikings and the Middle East, but then also a nod to old Assassin's Creed games. And I think there's a lot of that in this game, I could say, from having played some of the combat so far. There's definitely a sense that it feels a little bit more weighted. And we'll get an example of that here. Let me see where I'm going on the map. Oh yeah, so that's really far away. Yeah, okay. So let's get on the boat. This will be good. We can listen to some Viking songs. But the combat and the general movement of the character feel more grounded, more weighted than they did for either Odyssey or for Origins. And the combat is a bit more deliberate in its approach. And so I think that's all for the best. And it does feel a bit more like an old school Assassin's Creed game in that sense. All right, so let's just jump on our longship here, take command.
To the Swan Road.
And then let's see. So we've got this. I wonder if I can just do this and it will... Oh, okay, it's going to track it. And then I suppose I should turn around. It looks like there's a bridge there, but I think I can get through. Let's try. Just make sure really fast I'm going the right direction. Yes, okay. Longbow travel feels very similar to the other naval opportunities and Origins and Odyssey. Feels great, you know. When you get these options here, very similar to Black Flag, where you can listen to songs or you can hear stories told by the Vikings. So we'll do a little bit of both here. And up here, you'll see an example of a monastery. This is one of the early ones that I raided before. And you can see that little gold object there. If you hit the Y button there, it'll jump into a raid mode, and all of your sailors here will get off and go and raid and try to steal gold and treasure from the monastery. Yeah, I think those are
Hush now.
kind of quests that you can do multiple times.
Let the sail out!
Oh, great. Oh, see, so I hit the X button to unload the sail. Oops. It looks like I can... Oops. Yeah, here we go. Let's hit Y to go to quest objective, please.
Hearken well in Hall of Kings.
Let's try it again.
Run up the sail!
Oh no, it's turning us around. Can we not go? We must be able to go there, please. Let's see.
Man slain Valkyrier way.
Let's keep going this way.
Reward for strain to Valhalla take. Then horns resounds the mighty hall. For those who fight, for those who fall. For those who fight, for those who...
Yeah, let's see. Take a left here. I think this will work.
His web of fear, each man gets his fated share of blood-red surge, the warrior shield. Ravens scan the battlefield. Ravens scan the battle.
We'll pick up from there. More sail!
Camp there, Eivor. Probably hostile.
We'll share a tail.
I knew a crazed man about my age called Rokur. We had taken to calling Rokur the Rodent for his habit of collecting axes. For 20 years he collected axes of all make and size. He had never seen a day of battle, but he swore to Thor that he would. In his 31st year, after drinking too much ale, Rokur seduced another man's wife. That man called a holmgang against Rokur. Rokur accepted the holmgang, and on the agreed-upon day, he laid out 12 of his axes and asked, "Which of these will I use to slay you? Will it be Bone Splitter?" He
Raise
said,
them up!
"My bearded blade inscribed with silver runes, affixed to a handle of English oak, or Blood Fountain," he continued. "My Dane axe, which swings through the air on two hands with the speed of an arrow's flight. Or might it be Twin Wolf Wounder?" Roker growled.
This is a long-winded story. That's the first time I've listened to one, and I'm kind of regretting it now. Oh, what is this? Town called Repton. Is that what this is? Yeah, okay. So it is a ways up here. Boy, I had no idea that this was going to be so far away.
At that moment,
You must row in
the
these
man
waters.
who had challenged Roker brought a large stone down upon his head. Roker died instantly, and his axes were given away as gifts.
Down safe! To your oars!
Another raiding opportunity. Let's see. I had no idea this is going to be so much navigating riverways. I apologize. But luckily we can travel underneath these bridges. In fact, that might be a question I ask these guest historians that I have on for this episode is, you know, how common was it for these longboats to not only travel in the North Sea and raiding England, but actually make their way into the river systems of eastern England. I'm curious about that. Got pretty close now. All right.
Sail! Catch the wind! have a song. Save it for later.
It's Nottinghamshire. Awesome. All right, let's take a look here. We've got to be okay, just round the bend. Oh, well, let's get on foot. I'm sure that'll be fun. I've seen a couple of websites posting pictures on Twitter comparing the land in this territory to Witcher 3, and I think there's definitely a good reason to agree with that perspective. Beautiful music too. Maybe I should have brought my ship. I see a nice dock over there. Oh well. Alright, let's use the Raven here.
Sunan.
So just like with Bayek in Origins, in Cassandra, in Odyssey, you've got an animal friend, in this case a Raven, to help you navigate terrain and pick out points of interest, as well as discover secret entrances to different areas. So we've got a secret entrance. It's been lit up there. We've got a viewpoint to kind of gain more knowledge about this territory, and then we've got a good look of this town below. So pretty neat. And one of the things that I'll mention as we get closer. Uh-oh. Oh my gosh. I'm being assaulted. So I'm going to pull out my bow here. Yeah, it's probably not worth it. One of the things that's really interesting about this game, and why it kind of harkens back to Assassin's Creed, old-style Assassin's Creed, is that you go into several areas that don't like Vikings, and obviously have a problem with Vikings for a lot of different reasons. And so what you can do in those situations... Let me see if I can pull it up here. I've actually forgotten what it is. I thought it was this. Maybe not. Ah, there it is. You could pull up this action wheel, and you've got a horn, you've got mount, meditate, but you can pull it on your cloak, and then you can go in kind of incognito mode, very similar to the original set of Assassin's Creed games.
Sigurd should be here with the Renaissance.
No! Stay still. Please! Who stands before Ivar Ragnarsson? Are you Sigurd Drenger? Igor!
Eivor. If you keep that up, I'll stain the floors.
The place could use some color.
Who are they?
All spies. Dressed to look the part of a peasant. Got feisty. Pitchfork. From this rabid little one. Was a time when you met and slew your enemy on the field before they could dream of things like sending spies!
Yikes.
And now we shake hands and make deals.
Not my thing.
I figured.
I love them whipped, weeping and reeking of piss. Hey! Good boy. You're free, Saxon piggy, to run amok through the Mercian fields.
I would have let him down easy.
Follow me. I'll give you the door.
Weird.
What do you call this place?
I call it the shithole. To the Mercians, it is Repton. Their most revered kings are buried below the church. Imagine their weeping when we drove them out.
You plunged your knife deep into the heart of this kingdom.
That is right. We've got a number of Saxon nobles lined up with their lips puckered, ready to kiss our asses. The only holdout is King Burgred and his war thane, Leofrid. But my brother is brewing a plan to deal with them.
I take it that's where we'll find my brother.
Right. Talkers they are, Uba and Sigurd. Might want to dig the wax from your ears.
I would say so far that the
Don't play me for a fool.
kind of
Abba.
characters
I know Bergred sent a Vergeld
that
your
we've seen
way.
so
Enough
far
of your
in the
noise,
game
Tona.
have
We
been
have plans to
a bit
divide.
dull,
I'm
to
not
be
going
honest.
anywhere.
I'm hoping things pick
You
up
have
here.
the king on his heels because of me, because of my men.
For which you were paid. But that price does not change because you have caught a whiff of our Hacksilver hoard.
You forget I am a sellsword. I ask what I please, and I take what I'm owed.
If I wanted to hear you talk shit, I'd gouge out your tongue and shove it up your ass.
Lovely.
Now fuck off.
Haggling over silver is a bad look for the son of Ragnar Lothbrok. But worry not, Uba. I have the warriors you need.
This is one of them. My worries have vanished.
Eivor, Wolf-Kissed, you have come at just the right time.
So this is Sigurd.
Uba and Ivar
He's
here
the
are
leader
hunting
of the
a king.
clan that
When we caught
Eivor
him,
fights for.
We mean to crown another. Our dear Thane Shellwolf here.
It's not a role I begged for, but it's what Mercia needs just now. A man to fairly rule both Saxons and Danes.
It sounds like you'll be a king in name only, a puppet.
I am doing my part. I hope you have come to do yours. We're going to need all the help we can get for what comes next.
The king has refused our offers of peace. Jailwolf means to change that. There'll be a new king for a new England.
For now, Burgred is holed up in his fortress at Tamworth, making a final stand.
Another shithole. Only further south.
We've held a siege there for weeks to no effect. So, no more knocking. Now we batter the gate to splinters. If we take Tamworth, remove Burgred and crown Shellwolf...
Some incredible tattoos in
come
this
morning,
game
the
so
Shire
far
is
as well.
ours. And Mercia soon after.
Yes, remove. I cannot stress that enough. Burgred is not to be harmed. My legitimacy as king hangs on this one simple fact.
You rob all the joy from war, Saxon.
Not every victory needs to be marked by the slaughter of a king.
But it is much better.
His request is fair, Ivar, and we will honor it.
This is a good plan, brother. I am ready for the coming fight.
Agreed. Yet remember this. Whatever you stand to gain here, so do we. An alliance between my clan and Mercia's crown.
See this man installed on his throne and you will have it. I swear.
The bold sons of Ragnar bellow to sound the spear din and the thunder of shields. So let fall the arrow storm. The battle begins.
Ah, you never said this one was a poet.
I need to piss.
Wonderful.
We have a forward camp just north of Tamworth. Will you go with us?
Lead the way.
Take in the sights of Repton if you like. We will be at the docks when you are ready to go.
The sights.
I'm glad you and your brother have come, if only to bring some measure of calm.
Ease yourself, Ceolwulf. We all stand to benefit, and you'll be remembered for this for years to come.
For all the wrong reasons, I fear.
So it looks like we've started a new quest line, which is great. Hopefully we'll get to see a little bit of fighting. So I think you could see there
Lively town. Quite a lot to see here.
that, you know, the voice acting in this game is really good. The audio production is really great. But I would say, I don't know, the story just so far and the stakes have just not really grabbed me. And I can't tell if that's just because I'm early on in the whole thing. Could be. But I just kind of feel like these opening hours could have used some livening up, just a smidge. But great world design, great feel to this. You know, beautiful landscape. You know, great art design too. You know, basically what you would expect from a modern Assassin's Creed game, from a AAA game.
Some of us are staying behind, as I hear it.
Half the army's already in Tamworth, and we've now got help from the south. It's our lot to look after this place.
I'm gonna try to go into this mission here. Might be a good stopping point. Let's see, is it all the way up here? Let's take a look at the map. Must be.
Sail southeast. Bring the men to the gates of Tamworth. We'll flood the fields and put... Eivor, is your axe sharpened?
I'm ready for the speared in.
And the thunder of shields, yes. It's good to have you with us.
To fight beside such legends is an honor. I've only heard tales of your conquests. Now I get to live them.
We'll weave our sagas together. Thread upon thread.
Come on, boy. We'll forge a man from your softness, hammered on the anvil of
One does
war.
not need to fight to be
Move! Move!
Calm, Ivar. The fight's not here.
Aye. The fight is nowhere to be found in this boy.
A boy who happens to be Ceolwulf's son. Why is he not in his quarters?
Our future king wants a battle-hardened heir. Time he proves his worth, don't you think?
Not yet crowned king and already grooming his successor. That shows some boldness.
I don't know how much
Right.
influence
kings,
the
both
dialogue
are
choices
Ivar!
cause to the game.
He comes with us.
I can remember
And should
Assassin's Creed
anything
Odyssey
happen to
had the
this
same
little
sort of
sprout,
feel to it,
I will bear the
and
punishment our
didn't
future
really
king
seem
inflicts.
to change
want to
much
remove your
with
head?
the game's
Ah,
storyline.
you hear that, boy? You die, and I'll have to kill your father too.
Well, we'll see. I think I'm going to go ahead and take off
Mount
this
up, Eivor.
cloak.
It's a long ride to Tamworth.
Jump on the horse.
You have to endure, my brother. He always finds new ways to humor himself.
I'll keep that in mind.
And both eyes open.
You smell that, Ceolbert? The stink of jealousy, of our budding friendship, I think.
It's a great look at the longboats there. Great look at the
What
territory.
is Ceolwulf's son doing in
Again, this
Renton
is
at all?
running on kind of a mid-level, mid to low-level PC, and I think it looks great.
For a traitor and his son. In the middle of a pack
The
of
frame
babes.
rate kind of chugs
Say
just a
from
bit,
who?
but that's
You
my
and Ivar
that's my
seem to
computer.
have brought this Shire to help.
It doesn't have much to do
With us,
with the game, I don't
common
think.
folk. Burgred
And I've
still
been,
has his soldiers all over mercy.
Surprised so far.
Devoted
There
to
haven't
him.
been many bugs
Die
that I've seen,
defending him.
or any kind of weird jankiness with the AI. So it's
Your voice,
it's impressive.
Eivor. You sound different than the brothers.
Good ear, Lord. Most in England cannot tell the difference. But not all Danes are Danes.
From where do you come, if I may ask?
North of the Danelands, a place called Funberg in Norway.
I didn't know there was land north of there. What are the people like?
You ever see a herd of sheep follow each other off the edge of a cliff? They're like that. The ones who remained, anyway.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Was it a mass exodus from Norway, then?
It was. Norway is now the province of a young king, Harald by name. A boy wise beyond his years.
Are you not angry that he has displaced you and so many others?
I was, for a time. But our weeks at sea have softened my brow fire. If I am honest, I realize I quite admire King Harald. By words and by weapons both. He has pacified the country I call home. For the first time in any man's memory, or any skald's song, Norway has one king. Just one. And that is quite a feat.
That is impressive, truly. England is half the size of Norway, and yet we have 4 kings for our 4 kingdoms.
You see? How could I not be impressed? No, Harald is a good man with grand ideas. I can see that now.
I am only 6 years his junior and have yet to see my first battle. I cannot imagine the skill and cunning he has.
Your first battle is coming, young Kjellbert. From this day on, you may see rapid progress.
I'm not sure I want so swift a rise.
So kind of useful banter here. You get a little bit more of the backstory of Sigrid and Eivor in Norway.
Weight of my anger, not King Harold. My father gifted my
But again, this
birthright
story
to
is
Harold
just kind of,
without
I don't
my
know,
consent or
it's not
knowledge.
grabbing me very much.
As easily as if you might hand over a barrel of meat. It was not merely a deception, it was a betrayal of trust. The prick of which still stings me.
Be it a blessing or a curse, family is always first.
A good line, boy. Were you not
This
an
is definitely
Atherling,
something
I
that
would hire you as my
I want to know
skald.
more about for the History
Skald?
Respawn episode.
It
It's,
sounds something like
you
Scott,
know, this kind of
our court poet.
internal
Is that what you
divisions
mean?
between
Right
the
again.
Viking groups,
Fascinating.
and then also
The
the
harmony
internal
between
divisions
our
within
words
the
and
kingdoms
yours,
of
quite
England
something, as if
and
we
in
were
Britain at
distant
the time.
cousins,
I
separated by an
have
ocean
no
of time
knowledge
as well
of
as
any of
space.
that stuff, at least beyond what
I
you
like
could
the
get
thought
from
of
a
that.
encyclopedia
I do.
article, for instance. Pretty good water effects here in this game. Earlier on, when we were in Norway, there was some really excellent snow effects that I saw, and I feel like they were as good as the kind of snow that you saw perhaps in a game like Red Dead Redemption 2. So, really impressive work, I think, by the team that put this together. It's like a side quest there with a question mark over the head. To come back to that. Here we are, finally.
Is there?
Look at these pagan rats. Ravenous, unseemly beasts teeming over holy ground.
So again, the religious
I'm a
angle
Caird.
coming up
Those
quite a
pagan
bit.
rats outnumber us. I can see that, fool. What do we do about them?
I advise we strongly consider their demands, Lord. We won't survive a fight.
Is that you, Leofrid? How quickly you recover! I'm beginning to wonder if it is a man or a god beneath all that armor.
A man of God stands before you, Ivar. Proud and resolute.
That's Burgred's war thane. Killed a dozen of our men in an ambush along the River Trent. It was Ivar's axe that stopped him.
That is a poor description of a perfect 30-yard toss.
Enough jawing, heathens! Speak your piece! We've come for your crown, Lord.
With or without your head attached.
Ha, I admire your ambition, pagan. But what you ask is impossible. No Dane ever has or ever will occupy Mercia's sacred throne.
The Ragnar sons are the least of your worries, Burgred. The Raven clan now sits upon your southern border.
And who might you be?
Eivor of the Raven clan, here with Sigurd Jarl. We are friends to these men, and foes to you.
Well, you've chosen your friends poorly. Now that's to be expected.
Great voice
of a
acting here. I
low-born
love this.
Dane.
My king, may I suggest a more measured approach to this?
I grow weary of this palaver. You have trampled our lands, toppled our monuments. We've given you silver, fed your people. And yet in spite of all this, your encroachment on my kingdom continues. No more! We will die defending what is ours, whatsoever the cost. If you want my crown, Uber Ragnarsson, you must pry it from the hands of my bloodless corpse. Man the walls!
Well, that went well.
Back to the camp. Round up the men. We're taking Tamworth tonight! Eivor, tell the captain we're ready to march. Eivor and I will round up the men. You know your way around a battering ram.
I've seen them in action.
I want you at the helm of ours. Strong and agile.
I'll be there.
As will I.
Let's see if there's a battle coming. I might want to upgrade just a bit. Let's take a look. Ability damage, that's what it is. Stun. Let's look. Stomp is next. Not sure how interested I am in that. What about over here? Unlocks the ability to assassinate high-level targets. Timing-based attack. That could be really useful. Range damage. Yeah, why don't we do that and then we can go there. Ooh, what's this one? Guided arrow. No, not a big fan of that. This will be good. We can start there. Oh, and look at this. Opening up new areas. Chain assassination. That was one of my favorites from Odyssey. That'll be fun.
Rest from rattling skulls. Rattle these bones.
Who are you? I'm with the Ragnarsons. It's time to roll out the battering ram.
Birgrid wanted to fight. Now we'll give him one. Are you ready to march now?
Yeah, why not? Let's go.
Let's go. It's time to capture a kingdom.
Well, at least try. Oh boy, this poor kid.
What are we going to do about him?
Jailbert. Something wrong.
I know these men, Eivor. I've supped with them. Not 2 weeks ago, Leofrith showed me how to wield a greatsword. He's a friend.
Friendships end, often at the point of a spear.
It cannot be that cold. Least of all with Leofrith. He is only following orders.
When the march begins, find an empty tent and stay there.
Do not think me a coward. I am not afraid of war. I do not want to kill my friends.
There's no other way. Fight or hide. It's up to you.
Cold. It's a little pre-game drinking. A little pre-game Assassin's Creed meditation. So this might take a while. We'll see. Oh, wow. There's the battering ram. Breach the first gate.
Destroy the gate!
Slaughter the soldiers. Leave the king to me.
So you can use the shield in this game. Pretty similar to, I think, the last game. I'm just going to go up this ladder here and see what I can see.
Together, lad.
So the combat, pretty similar to more recent titles. Lots of reference to religion here, as you can hear. Nomine Patris, Christ is with us. Let's see if I can drop down and destroy this gate. Yeah, it looks like a gate down there. Some more. Can I drop down? There we go. But a light and heavy attack.
Gates down! Push through! Push through!
Works pretty well. Another thing I might ask guest historians about the kind of makeup of fortresses during this time period.
Look at us, side by side with the Ragnasons. We're a long way from Portland,
So this is kind of similar to the battle sequences in the last Assassin's Creed game, where you can largely ignore the battle and the kind of man-to-man fighting that's going on, so long as you're achieving your objectives in the battle. Oops.
Protect the ram!
So let's see if there's another way up here. I don't really see a way up here. This is unfortunate. Let's see if I can join this battering ram. Oh, nice.
We beat the raven!
Nice. This is fun. Oh, and then you can brace in case there's an attack coming. Oh, it's getting pretty close. Like one more. Oh man, come on. Brace. Oh no, my friend. Oh no. Man, this is taking a while. Come on. Love the audio design here, it's really great. It sounds like a bloody medieval battle. There we go.
Cut down their mountsmen and elites, or they'll thin us out one by one!
Uh-oh. No, I'm on fire. Uh-oh. This might be trouble. Oh. I need to find some food or something. Let's heal up. push there.
You're going down!
There we go. We collect fruits in order to create rations, which can help you stay alive.
Too easy! Take it!
Handle this!
Slipping away, there!
No, that's my tough.
Idiot! Put up a fight! You bleeding dunghill!
There we go. Not bad. Frame rate is struggling here. Might need to turn down the settings for the eventual episode on this game.
It's over, Burgred. Lay down your weapons and surrender.
Let's see what happens to Burgred. Is he still there? Oh, he is. Okay. Well, I think what I'll do is I'll end the stream here, leave you in suspense to see what happens to this good King Burgred. Hope you enjoyed this episode of History Respawn. Again, I was kind of using this stream as a prep session for the eventual full episode, so there will be more content on this game. But as I've kind of hinted at before, I think this game works pretty well, and you know, I like a lot of the mechanics. I like, in particular, how they bring back some of the older elements from previous Assassin's Creed games before Origins. And I think if you are a fan of either the older games or the newer games, you'll find something to like in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So until next time, goodbye.